On today's show, we're diving into the world of ancient mysteries and modern technology. How is AI helping to uncover secrets that have been hidden for thousands of years? I'm Daniel,
Ah, Matheus.
and this is the Human AI Experience. We'll be right back.
So Daniel, I saw a video and I read some articles about how a university created a competition to reveal or to read some of the ancient Roman scrolls. You know, these scrolls that we see in movies. There's many of them, more than 200, and they are older
You
than.
know that
Sorry.
they are in movies, but they are real, right?
Yeah. So they're like more than 2,000 years old. You know these scrolls, and they have at least 200 of them in one of the universities. So this competition was held by the University of Kentucky, and they have a video of like 1 hour explaining how they find the result and how they choose the best option. You know, so many different groups of students and professors, they were like focusing on how to review what is written down in these scrolls, you know, because many other many scientists, they try to open these scrolls, and they just destroy it, you know. It becomes it because it's so old that the paper got together so much that it's hard to unveil them uh, without breaking the paper. So these scrolls, they believe that they contain a lot of works of literature, philosophy, and history from the Roman era, which is quite interesting. And then the idea of creating this competition was to read them without opening. And then the effort was how, yeah, that's a really big challenge. And
How can you do that?
yeah, so what they did, they used like some X-ray, you know, so they can see some of the the letters. And then the good thing and the best part of it is that the winners, they use like a AI to recognize the patterns and unveil, you know, some of the information inside of these scrolls without opening. So they could read like 140 characters of the first one, so it's 5% of one of the scrolls. And it already showed the potential of this technology now. And using the AI is like a crucial part of the role to understand. And even in this case, they could read new words now. So that's the curious thing. So not only the known letters and words, they could go a little bit further with this technology now. So the potential is huge, and they are really happy with it. And until the end of this year, they wanna read 90% of the scrolls. You know.
Oh, what a clever idea to use X-ray to identify the characters and using AI to identify the patterns of written language and then wow, really cool.
And they are so fragile to open. You know, it's something that unfortunately we cannot put some photos here. But if you see some photos of these scrolls, you see that they are kind of burned. They look like totally black, you know. So I don't know if it's the time aging or if it was because it was in the Mount Vesuvius, you know, like during the. So I don't know if there was an eruption and then they kind of lost some of the materials. So they're in super fragile state, you know. So they need to be super careful in trying to discover that, you know. So the X-rays and then the AI, I think it's such a clever and nice idea of way of decoding this whole ancient ancient objects.
We can put the link in the show notes of some of the images and some of the.
Yeah, definitely. And there's a 1 hour presentation where they show the winners, and they talk about the competition and how they created this algorithm and how do they develop this tool, how do they use it. So it's super interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential, right, to decipher a lot of these ancient languages that today requires a lot of work, a lot of people. It's almost like deciphering a code, right?
Yeah, and
I know with the Viking runes was also a huge um, effort to try to decode that a couple of years ago, and then there are still things that they don't know what it means. So perhaps AI can help speed up that process.
definitely, definitely. And the Rosetta Stone, it took like
Yeah,
many years to decode, and then there was missing parts of it, I think. And then if you think that AI might play a key role in this discoveries, because you can test different languages quickly and different sounds, or I don't know how can they unveil this. But I think it's super interesting how the potential of it. Like even in recent times, for example, Germany now is using uh, a similar technology to 200 years ago or something like that. They're trying to understand the handwriting of some of the documents, from the colonization times, and then they're using AI to decode that too. So I feel that this kind of technology can be used in so many ways.
yeah, we're just scratching the surface of how many things we can enhance and improve by using AI or machine learning. And I think we're going to find out more use cases as long as people give it a try, right?
To deciphering like lost civilizations is huge, and I think that's impressive. How we can use this technology and how we can read the past through a different perspective. And it's interesting in these Roman scrolls, they were talking about some literature and some poems. So there was some, and the first phrase that they started to unveil it was the word "high." So can you imagine the first scroll that you have, and then the first word that you discover is "high." So it's a kind of a welcoming pathway, So I feel it's super exciting, this discovery.
Yeah. Bye bye.
At the same time, it opens a door of and democratize, the access to the culture heritage state. We have, in the other hand, like some ethical implications. If this the technology is that accurate as they're selling, so these kind of implications, they kind of go in both hands.
Yeah, I was about to ask if they are taking into account potential mistakes, right? Because this is also it might have like predicted wrong, and because we don't know what is true, what is not, because we haven't been able to do it ourselves, can also go the other way, right? So basically, we might think we're translating it correctly, but it's also a mistake. So is do you know if they have any mechanisms or they talk about any mechanisms of how to try to mitigate potential errors?
I think it's the balance that we always talk about. Uh, it's like the curation, So humans still need to balance, the use of traditional techniques and the AI. So I think it's a sort of it can be practical and help, to understand these languages, but at the same time you need to be careful and not just follow the AI, without having this backup of the traditional methods.
Como é que eu posso fazer o wrap up?
AI is not just preserving history, but also potentially rewriting, and bringing back new facts and perspectives to light. So I think the long-term impact of AI could have on our understanding of history and how it could change the way we teach and learn about the past is impressive. So for me, it is a lot of potential in this usage and with this technology. and it's nice that they're using to because it makes so sense like to use technology to analyze. It's another way of analyzing data. And if you think about what we already know about the ancient
Civilizations.
civilizations, yeah.
Awesome. Really cool fun fact. Thanks for bringing it in. Very interesting to see how AI is, yeah, opening up closed doors in multiple fronts. Really cool. We reached the end of our episode. If you're interested in how AI is evolving and how you can introduce it in your life or your work, subscribe to the podcast in your favorite podcast service and follow us for more. Let's explore AI together. If you have any questions for us, you can reach out to us at hello@humanaixp.com or connect with us on Instagram at hellohumanAIXP. Thanks for listening and see you next week.